It was a scary thing. Like I said, it was very like, first people on the moon vibes, like in terms of going with such a large production during the pandemic. And we didn't really know what to expect. It was very strict to Universal's credit. We really were only able to go to work and then home. And we were shot in Atlanta, but we might as well have been anywhere. We really never went to a single business or public space in Atlanta.
Couldn't tell you a single thing about Atlanta.
We lived together during the movie, and we spent a lot of time in that house together. And we just, it made it, for me personally, it just made it so much warmer and more like familial of an experience, because it could have been a very isolated experience, which at times it was, but it just, there was such a safe haven to come home to. And my birthday was while I was shooting as well, and I was working that day and she wasn't, and when I got home, she had cooked me this amazing breakfast for dinner meal for my birthday, and there was balloons and a present, and she got me a vintage t-shirt with Pikachu on it, and it was just the sweet. It was like having, my family waiting at home.
It was so nice. It was really such a special thing. I can't even imagine what it would have been like if we were just
alone,
going back to a house alone. It made the biggest difference.
We watched Love Island every night when we got home, and that was sort of what I looked forward to every day. So
I remember, Ben, you coming home pretty much every day you'd come home. I mean, most days we were working together and we'd come home together, but like some days he would come home and his face was so puffy from crying all day. And it was just so nice to embrace and a hug and go snuggle on the couch and watch Netflix. It was really so nice. But it's not something you can shake off at the end of the day. But having each other made a really big difference.
For sure. I think that in some ways it was easier than when you do the show, because there were certain days where we were only doing a slightly brighter scene or something that wasn't as heavy, and we only had to attack each moment one time for 1 day or 2 days. So in that respect, it was a little bit easier of a process. But with the show, there's like this instant gratification when you finish of like the audience's reception, and then you see people backstage, and there's hugging, and there's all this like dissipation of the reality, and then you go home and back to yourself. Whereas when you finish shooting, it feels sort of unfinished, and so you kind of stay in that like limbo. And it's also so visceral to be like in these spaces and in these rooms and houses and schools and like experiencing it that up close. It just makes the reality a little harder to shake. But again, yeah, it was nice to have someone to help me do that every day.